Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Ask Alexa Therapy Facebook Live. Just wanted to check in tonight and see how everybody's doing. I know this weekend has been a tough weekend for many, for those who maybe have lost someone in the September 11th attacks, and those who've just have been watching the news, watching the memorials, and watching everything that's been going on. And I wanted just to touch base tonight and talk about grief and loss. I just finished doing a show out in Montclair, New Jersey, all original one acts and also monologues dedicated and about those who have lost ones in 9/11, those who have been victims of 9/11, and those who have lost family members, friends, and colleagues. And I think grief is so different for each person. There are so many different stages of grief, and sometimes we think they run in order, but they don't. Grief is about 5 stages of grief. Sometimes they don't run in the exact order. They go back and forth and they flip and flop. But I think it's normal for those to feel the feelings of grief and loss. Even though at this time, maybe you have not lost actually a loved one in 9/11, but you are feeling loss. You are feeling grief. And that is common and that is normal to feel that pain. So I think the most important thing to do is to be able to sit with it, to embrace it, but also to start healing for it. And I think the most important thing is to be able to verbalize it to a trusted family friend, a family member, or even a professional. Because sometimes grief for each person can last in different stages. There is acceptance, there is denial, there is bargaining, anger, and depression. And sometimes these different stages of grief come back and forth. And many times we'll have anger at some point, then depression, and then anger and depression will be flip-flopping. So there isn't any right or wrong way to grieve. Each person is so different and so unique. So I just wanted to reach out tonight and be able to sit here with everybody and say, I know it's been a tough time. If you've lost someone in September 11th, or you're dealing with a loss, or you're in the grieving process for a different traumatic event, know that there's people here to support you, that we're here to listen, but also to know that it is a healing process. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And so many times people think, yes, September 11th was 20 years ago. Yes, I lost that person 10 years ago. Maybe it wasn't a death. Maybe it was a divorce. Maybe it was the end of a relationship or a friendship or even a loss of a job. That is still part of the grieving process. We're not here to judge the grieving process. It's not a contest. It's not a marathon. It's not a race. There isn't any set time for the beginning and the end. But I think it's about being present, being able to embrace it, but also getting the right amount of support and community support and education and also therapy to help you start that healing process. So again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And please keep sending in your questions to info@askalexatherapy.com. And I'll see everybody next Sunday at 6 p.m. Everybody, have a good night and God bless.